Now that we're done with that, that's about the only noise you're going to hear out of Dracula in this film. And that is Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Christopher Lee coming back from the dead. This time we do not have Peter Cushing. As in the horror of Dracula, we find Dracula being killed by sunlight. In this sequel, we find him being reborn. His ashes are spread in his coffin, and a sacrifice is cut open and reforms Dracula. Let's back up a minute and get to the beginning of this, where this family is on a vacation or holiday, whatever you want to call it, and they're traveling the countryside, and they've been warned not to go to this castle. So what do? They go to the castle. It's not by their own doings as much. The horse carriage comes by. It doesn't have anybody on it, but the horses take them wherever they want to take them. So they take them to the castle, where we find a creepy gentleman that already has their food prepared and their bags in their rooms, and talks about how his master is dead, but always wanted the castle ready for people to occupy. The master, of course, being Count Dracula, he lets him know that he, he's dead and all this, but whatever. But the whole time, this guy's trying to get somebody that he can drain their blood, which, it's not really hard with these four here, to trick somebody into, hanging upside down and bleeding out. So his ashes are poured in the coffin, like I said. One of the gentlemen is strung upside down, neck slit, blood poured in. Now, here's where the cool part comes in. This was really impressed me. I had not seen this film in a long time. I do love Hammer horror. My heart lies with Universal, but I do love the Hammer horror films. Dracula, on one hand, is treated unfairly, I think. I think of Dracula, not all vampires, but Dracula as a romantic. He's a monster, but he's a romantic, suave, sophisticated creature. Now, I know Hammer didn't they didn't portray him that way, and they made him more just a menacing monster that just wants to live and feed. And that's what we get with Christopher Lee, which is fine. I still love these films. But the transformation from Dust to Dracula is so well done for 1950-something. 1966. So we got a 1966 film, and this is a magnificent transformation. As you see the shots, most likely layered to get this body to reform from ash to kind of a goo to muscles and veins, and then eventually the rest of it can't be done on film, obviously, for the time period. So it fills with smoke, and we see a hand with a ring on it, and we automatically know it's Count Dracula. But we're not going to say it like that because he doesn't talk. Now, reading about this, there's two different versions, two different stories I read. One was the director or screenwriter, I can't remember who it was, said that it was written specifically with no dialogue for Dracula. The other one that I read was from Christopher Lee that said the dialogue was so horrible he refused to speak it. He made the character silent. I don't know which one's true, but I tend to believe Christopher Lee's story. I know I believe Christopher Lee's story. Fantastic film. We go from this to or Dracula being, brought back to life, to making another female vampire to do his bidding, to searching for the one he wants, the female he wants, going to great lengths to get her, to run into a cleric who knows about killing vampires, and they go about, and there's vampire ways to kill vampires that he goes over, one of which I did not know. Spoiler alert. I did not know a vampire would only drown, and it could kill him if he's drowned in running water. So I guess they can take a bath as long as the water doesn't have a current to it. So I would assume that means get in the bathtub after the water's already in the bathtub. Don't get in there and let the water run to fill up the bathtub, because then you could drown. But I'm not, and I'm having fun with this. I'm not making light of the film. I love the film. I just think that's kind of weird when I've never heard of the drowning in running water. But it does give him a way out. Poor Drac here is only alive for about 30 minutes before they get him again. So yeah, the main part of this whole film that I love is the reincarnation of Dracula himself, and the first time we just see him standing there, because Christopher Lee's he brings it when his presence. I mean, he was 6'5". I mean, he's a big guy for back then. Around all these regular-sized people, and then this towering Dracula comes out, and he's intimidating, and of course they have the red eyes and the fangs and the hissing and everything to go along with that vampire, and it's just great. So yes, I've not, just like yesterday, this is day 22, just like yesterday, I had not upgraded. I still have a Hammer 3-pack with the 7 Golden Vampires and Frankenstein Created Women, or Woman. And I don't know that I'll upgrade it. It looked fantastic when I watched it. And I am actually watching these. I'm not just doing these off memory. That's why I've started picking films that I haven't seen in a while. So that's another one down. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Probably the best. I don't want to say the best without researching a little bit and rethinking Christopher Lee's vampire films. But it is one of my favorites. But I think there's probably a couple more that are actually better. We'll get to that some other day. But thanks for watching, guys. Tomorrow is day number 23. And I have no idea what's in store. So, actually, I think I might. But we'll leave that for tomorrow. So, anyway, thanks for putting up with my shit tonight. And I'll talk to you later. Blah, 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 blah.